underlying principles. The changes in the universe and in the Book of Changes. Heaven is high, the earth is low. Thus, the creative and the receptive are determined. In correspondence with this difference between low and high, inferior and superior places are established. Movement and rest have their definite laws. According to these, firm and yielding lines are differentiated. Events follow definite trends, each according to its nature. Things are distinguished from one another in definite classes. In this way, good fortune and misfortune come about. In the heavens, phenomena take form. On earth, shapes take form. In this way, change and transformation become manifest. In the Book of Changes, a distinction is made between three kinds of change: non-change, cyclic change, and sequent change. Non-change is the background, as it were, against which change is made possible. For in regard to any change, there must be some fixed point to which the change can be referred. Otherwise, there can be no definite order, and everything is dissolved in chaotic movement. This point of reference must be established, and this always requires a choice and a decision. It makes possible a system of coordinates into which everything else can be fitted. Consequently, at the beginning of the world, as at the beginning of thought, there is the decision, the fixing of the point of reference. Theoretically, any point of reference is possible, but experience teaches that at the dawn of consciousness, one stands already enclosed within definite, prepotent systems of relationships. The problem then is to choose one's point of reference so that it coincides with the point of reference for cosmic events. For only then can the world created by one's decision escape being dashed to pieces against prepotent systems of relationships with which it would otherwise come into conflict. Obviously, the premise for such a decision is the belief that in the last analysis, the world is a system of homogeneous relationships, that it is a cosmos, not a chaos. This belief is the foundation of Chinese philosophy, as of all philosophy. The ultimate frame of reference for all that changes is the non-changing. The Book of Changes takes as the foundation for this system of relationships the distinction between heaven and earth. There is heaven, the upper world of light, which through incorporeal firmly regulates. There is heaven, the upper world of light, which, though incorporeal, firmly regulates and determines everything that happens. And over against heaven there is the earth, the lower, dark world, corporeal, and dependent in its movements upon the phenomena of heaven. With this differentiation of above and below, there is posited in one way or another a difference in value, so that the one principle, heaven, is the more exalted and honored, while the other, earth, is regarded as lesser and lower. These two cardinal principles of all existence are then symbolized in the two fundamental hexagrams of the Book of Changes, the creative and the receptive. In the last analysis, this cannot be called dualism. The two principles are united by a relation based on homogeneity. They do not combat but complement each other. The difference in level creates a potential, as it were, by virtue of which movement and living expression of energy become possible. This association of high and low with value differentiations leads to the differentiation of superior and inferior. This is expressed or even symbolically in the hexagrams of the Book of Changes, which are considered to have high and low, superior and inferior places. Each hexagram consists of 6 places, of which the odd-numbered ones are superior and the even-numbered ones inferior. There is another difference bound up with this one. In the heavens, constant movement and change prevail. On earth, fixed and apparently lasting conditions are to be observed. On closer scrutiny, this is only a delusion. In the philosophy of the Book of Changes, nothing is regarded as being absolutely at rest. Rest is merely an intermediate state of movement, or latent movement. However, there are points at which the movement becomes visible. This is symbolized by the fact that the hexagrams are built up of both firm and yielding lines. The firm, the strong, is designated as the principle of movement, the yielding as the principle of rest. The firm is represented by an undivided line corresponding with the light principle, the yielding by a divided line that corresponds with the dark principle. The fact that the character of the line, firm, yielding, combines with the character of the place, superior, inferior, results in a multiplicity of possible situations. This serves to symbolize the third nexus of events in the world. There are conditions of equilibrium in which a certain harmony prevails, and conditions of disturbed equilibrium in which confusion prevails. The reason is that there is a system of order pervading the entire world. When in accordance with this order, each thing is in its appropriate place, harmony is established. Such a tendency toward order can be observed in nature. The places attract related elements, as it were, so that harmony may come about. However, a parallel tendency is also at work. Not only are things determined by their tendency toward order, they move also by virtue of forces imparted to them, so to speak, mechanically from the outside. Hence, it is not possible for equilibrium to be attained under all circumstances, for deviations may occur, bringing with them confusion and disorder. In the sphere of human affairs, the condition of harmony assures good fortune, that of disharmony predicates misfortune. These complexes of occurrences can be represented by the combinations of lines and places, as pointed out before. Another law is to be noted. Owing to changes of the sun, moon, and stars, phenomena take form in the heavens. These phenomena obey definite laws. Bound up with them, shapes come into being on earth in accordance with identical laws. Therefore, the processes on earth, blossom and fruit, growth and decay, can be calculated if we know the laws of time. If we know the laws of change, we can pre-calculate in regard to it, and freedom of action thereupon becomes possible. Changes are the imperceptible tendencies to divergence that, when they have reached a certain point, become visible and bring about transformations. These are the immutable laws under which, according to Chinese thought, changes are consummated. It is the purpose of the Book of Changes to demonstrate these laws by means of the laws of change operating in the respective hexagrams. Once we succeed in completely reproducing these laws, we acquire a comprehensive view of events. We can understand past and future equally well and bring this knowledge to bear in our actions.